The hospitality industry has a food waste problem. Restaurants discard an estimated 22 to 33 billion pounds of food each year. Even though these numbers are staggering, a restaurant can never reasonably utilize 100% of its daily food supply in the dining room. That is why we launched Food Piles, in response to this disconnect. We help pair restaurants with food kitchens and food banks so they have a place to consistently drop off their excess food at the end of the day, which prevents it from going into the garbage. Restaurants can discover nearby charities that they can reach out to and connect with, and vice versa, allowing for a convenient and mutually beneficial relationship between the two organizations.
Welcome to Food Piles, where our mission is to connect restaurants with excess food to local food pantries and soup kitchens. On our platform, you can sign up as a donor or a charity account, and depending on your selection, we will find other accounts for you to connect with. I'm signing in as a donor, using a local eatery called Hummus Point as an example. You'll see my establishment's location is indicated by a blue dot in the center of the screen. The red markers, however, show us all of the charities that could benefit from the excess food I might normally dispose of. Red markers only show users that have set their status to available, and we can set ourselves as available by clicking on the toggle switch in the upper left corner of the screen. I can also toggle between a map and a list view of nearby charities. You'll see if I click on an individual pin that I'm redirected to a page displaying all relevant information about the charity. By clicking on the heart icon in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, I can favorite an individual charity, making it easier to access their information in the future. The Favorites tab displays a list of favorited accounts and their current activity status. We can see one of the options in our favorite list is currently unavailable, which is indicated by the gray dot. Instead, let's click on an available account and start a chat. The chat is updated in real time, and it provides a platform to reach out to specific users and coordinate their food exchange. You'll see here that I'm contacting a local food pantry to see if they're interested in receiving bread. They're able to respond almost instantly for a fluid and responsive user experience. We can view all of our conversations by navigating to the Chat tab at the bottom of the screen. It displays the user's name, their most recent message, and the time that message was sent. We also have a Profile tab, which allows users to update their credentials. If we navigate to Account Info, you'll see options to update your current username, password, and email. By clicking on the gray Update button, we could type in our desired username, and then click on the button again to finalize our updates. We're able to do this for all information associated with our account, and if we hit the back button, we could view other options we can update. Organization info displays everything related to your organization, such as its name, address, and phone number. And the Status tab lets us personalize the message that other users will see when they click on our marker. Here you'll see me updating our description and allergy information from last week to display what we currently have to offer. And that concludes our demo. You've seen what our app does, so let's start talking about how we made it.
Now, let's talk a little bit about our tech stack. Our tech stack compromises of many front-end and back-end technologies. For the front end, we utilize React Native and Expo to create our user interfaces for both Android and iOS. Within React Native, we implemented React Native Maps, which helped us take advantage of the Google Maps functionality. On top of React Native Maps, we used another library called GeoLib, which helped locate the distance between any points on our map. Last, we chose Redux to handle our Redux store and state management across our application. Now, let's move to the backend. On the backend, we utilize Node, Express, SQLite, and Postgres to build out our server. In place of actual users, we used the data from the TripAdvisor API to seed our database for demoing purposes. At last, we used Heroku to deploy our application. Building an application like this presented many challenges. So now I want to pass it off to Sean to discuss some of the challenges and upcoming goals we had.
The development of our Food Piles app was not without its obstacles. One of the primary issues that we ran into was figuring out how to provide a seamless user experience between both iOS and Android devices. Working out the library compatibility issues and UI styling differences between the two operating systems was one particular obstacle that we had to overcome. There are also many additional features that we never got around to implementing in version 1 of our app that we would have liked to, such as the ability for charities that are signing up with our app to go through an extensive verification process in order to validate their identity. We hope you enjoyed your first look, although brief, into what Food Piles has to offer. From all of us on the development team, we want to thank you for taking the time to allow us to share our creation with you all today.